people's quote of the day. I will never consider defeat, and I will remove from my vocabulary such words and phrases as quit, cannot, unable, impossible, out of the question, improbable, failure, unworkable, hopeless, and retreat, for they are words of fools. You are now listening to episode 4 of the People's Mentors podcast featuring Juan Pablo and DJ Cool. DJ Cool, bring in that beat, sir. And we're back with today's topic for the podcast. I will persist until I succeed. So let's go over the outline, ladies and gentlemen. Number 1, I'll be discussing this podcast. No is just a yes in the waiting room. Number 2, failure is a part of winning. Number 3, the law of averages will bend to your good. And last and certainly not least, number 4, the prizes of life are at the end of the journey, not the beginning. So how did I come up with this podcast episode? Like always, it's the people's question. So I appreciate all you guys who are a part of our community, whether it's through Facebook, whether it's through YouTube, you place comments, or you're part of our coaching programs at 100% Finance. These podcast episodes are created based upon your contribution. So we appreciate that. We appreciate the people coming from yours truly, the People's Mentor. So here's the people's question. Hello, everybody. I've been talking to people in the business credit world, and they say that it's not possible, to buy a multifamily commercial property unless you give a PG, as a personal guarantee, and 2 years of tax returns regardless of the down payment. Is that correct? Okay, so let's dive into it. I came across a situation like this as well, about a PG, your personal guarantee, and how important your personal credit plays a role in your business affairs, whether it's you obtaining business funding or whether it's you getting qualified for a mortgage. You as an individual matter, especially when you're getting started, because most banks think like this. Well, if this person is getting started, doesn't have a proven track record yet, and can't prove how viable his business is or her business is, that's perfectly fine. I'll be willing to extend this person funding, whether that's through a mortgage or even business funding, as long as the person is perceived as credible. In other words, if this individual is prudent in managing his or her own personal finances, then more than likely that will correlate to their business. You have to be faithful with the few, my friends, before you become ruler over the much. So back to my story, I had a difficult time doing that. So the first thing I did was, hey, we live in a world of abundance. There's more than one way to skin a cat. So if my credit is actually hindering me from becoming successful in real estate investing and getting qualified for mortgages or buying commercial properties, then maybe I can buy properties using a lease option, a master lease option. Perhaps I can entertain seller financing. Use creative strategies that are independent of my personal credit. Or I would say, you know what? Maybe I just need to face the music and repair my credit. Or perhaps I should have a personal guarantee. Perhaps I should have tax returns for the past 2 years. Or maybe I can partner with someone who has those things that I lack. And that's the beauty, the point of partnerships. You partner with someone who's strong where you're weak at, and vice versa. You may be strong in your real estate knowledge, your business acumen. You may know how to structure a deal, have access to multiple resources, such as a real estate agent, a real estate attorney, and so forth. And the other person may not have those resources. They're weak in it, but they're strong where the paper is concerned, meaning they look good on paper. They can qualify for mortgages like that at a snap of a finger, or they have a lot of money available to provide as a down payment. And they may be willing to be a personal guarantee for your mortgage or business credit. Okay, so that's pretty much how I got started. But let's get into the topic. A no is just a yes in the waiting room. So my friend, the person who provided this people's question on our closed Facebook group, and I'm just quoting from him, they said that it's not impossible to buy multifamily commercial property unless you give a PG in 2 years of tax returns, regardless of the down payment. While with some mortgage lenders, you can get around this, because this is what happened with me. In 2014, I actually filed tax returns, and I had it as a loss on my tax returns. Why? So I can avoid paying taxes to Uncle Sam. I didn't want to pay, period. So I put losses. However, it hindered me from getting qualified for a mortgage, because mortgage lenders were saying, well, Juan Pablo, you quit your job for one, because I quit my job at 30 years old in 2014. You quit your job for one, and you had losses on your previous tax return. So unfortunately, we can't give you a commercial mortgage. But did I allow that to stop me? They told me no. But I thought, you know what? A no is just a yes in a waiting room. I will persist until I succeed. So being that they told me no, where's my yes at? My yes is around here waiting somewhere. I just got to look for it. That's all I got to do. And so I reached out to one of my mortgage lenders and said, hey, what can I do to get qualified for a mortgage? You know what she told me? Juan, I really ain't supposed to be telling you this, but if you reduce your entity ownership to a certain percentage, we can get this loan approved without looking at your tax returns, without looking at your personal credit. So no PG, personal guarantee, or no tax returns, period. However, Juan Pablo, you have to lower your entity. You have to partner, okay? So to answer your question, my friend, there's ways to get around it. You just have to be persistent until you, look at DJ Cool shaking his head. Look at him, bro. You must be working, not enjoying the content. That's the only issue, man, when you work with your team, man. They be feeling it. They really do. I'm like, get back to work. Make sure you're watching this audio or listening to this audio. All right, let's get back into it. So that's the first thing. No is just a yes in the waiting room. If anyone tells you no, my friend, just say, hey, my yes is waiting, is on the way. I'll persist until I succeed. Second point I like to make. Failure is a part of winning. There has been many times in which I pursued a real estate investment deal, partnerships, or even working with other contractors and vendors in the industry in which I lost money. I'm not saying that I was a saint and they were the devil, so to speak, but I lost money because of my own negligence. I lost money because I didn't screen contractors effectively. Some of you guys might have heard this story before. I had a contractor paint the walls in a house, and he sent me a picture, one photo of the wall he painted. Walls, 2 walls. And so I just assumed, okay, well, he's trustworthy, he's credible. I'll send him the whole check for the painting. I assume it's completed. I made a surprise visit to the property because I was buying a fix and flip property out of state. I made a surprise visit and realized this guy just painted only 2 walls in the whole house. Got me good. He didn't use no Photoshop. He didn't do anything creative. He just said, hey, I'm just going to send him a picture. And I sent him a check and realized I lost money. So that can be perceived as a failure. I lost money. And most people, when they do fail, especially in business and investing, they really get bothered by that. Was that cool? They put their hands up and say, I give up, right? They put their hands up and say, I'm done with it, I tried. But the point of this, you have to persist until you succeed and realize failure is just a part of winning. So being that I lost money or I did deals bad or I bought a property wrong, just getting started, I did not throw my hands up and surrender. Do not surrender to failure, but realize failure is your friend because it teaches you what not to do next time and what you should do better to improve. That's the point of failure. But continue to persist, my friend, until you succeed, until you perfect your business or your investing. Do not quit. All right, next topic I have here. The law of averages will bend to your good. So if you really think about it, getting started in real estate, many of you guys want to be financially free and independent. You want to make that wake up whenever you feel like money, that mailbox money, in which you can do whatever you please with your time, have an abundance of time and money at your disposal. So as you're going along this journey, you will realize after every deal you close, you will get better and better and better. In the beginning, it may be difficult to persist because you're experiencing a ton of failures, as I just mentioned in the last point. But if you continue to persist and improve and adapt as you go along, the law of averages will work in your favor. As long as you have the mindset of, okay, what did I do right with this previous deal I did? What did I do wrong? You know what? Next deal, I'm going to make sure I do this differently. I'm going to make sure I avoid that. Or I'm going to bring a partner. Or I'm going to use this special financing. Or I'm going to put this contingency in my contract. Or I'm going to have a contract with my contractors. Or I'm going to double check their work. I'm going to audit their work thoroughly before cutting a check. I'm going to double check their work. Just simple things. But the law of averages will work in your favor. You will realize, well, I closed on one deal, bad deal. Two deals, bad deal. Third deal, somewhat better. Fourth deal, a lot better. Fifth property, way better. And then when you average it out, you know what? I am winning. But you cannot win if you quit at the first failure. If you experience failure and you quit, then my friend, you will not be successful. Why? Because you have to persist in order to succeed. Okay, last and final point. The prizes of life are at the end of the journey, not the beginning. So you have to understand that being that you're getting started with something, you're going to make mistakes. And this is one of my favorite quotes by Albert Einstein. Some of you guys might have heard of him, some genius or something, law of relativity, whatever it was, E equals MC squared. But he mentioned, and I'm just going to paraphrase in my own words, a person who doesn't make mistakes is a person who doesn't try anything new. So with that knowledge, you should understand that if you're trying something new, such as real estate investing, business, starting a blog, whatever new venture you're pursuing, you're bound to make mistakes. You're bound to experience failure. You're bound to get a lot of no's. You're bound to fall short. But with that knowledge, you should understand, okay, I'm starting something new. I'm going to make mistakes in the beginning, but after each mistake I make, I'm going to get better. And this is another quote I love by Napoleon Hill. And he got this from someone else. So if you guys happen to know what it is, just comment below on the podcast and let me know what this quote came from. But it was day by day in every way, I'm getting better and better. So after every business dealing you do, after every real estate deal you close on, you made mistakes. Always keep this at the forefront of your thinking. Day by day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. But realize you're not going to get the prize at the beginning. Most people don't. If you do get a prize in the beginning, that's just beginner's luck. Meaning you close on your first property, you made $50,000, $70,000, or you're cash flowing at a rate of return of 100%. That could be beginner's luck. So don't walk with arrogance like, oh, I'm the man or I'm the woman because my first deal, I made a huge check. But as you continue to invest and deal with new investment strategies, always be mindful that, hey, it may be rocky, you might have gained some success early on, but the prize is always at the end. As long as I continue to persist and perfect this thing to the point I have it on autopilot, to the point where I can outsource all of my real estate investing activities, that I'm just the owner, only work on the business, but not in the business, then you'll realize all your hard work, all the failures, all the no's that you face during that journey, it was worth the prize at the end. The prize is always at the end. And I was able to open up my prize at 30 years old when I finally was able to say goodbye to 9 to 5 and turn in my 2 weeks notice. I started investing when I was 26 years old with my first property, and I dedicated my spare time to make myself wealthy to the point where I turned 30 years old. I was able to enjoy the fruits of my labor and enjoy that prize. So I implore all of you guys who are listening at the sound of my voice, you can do it too. Continue to persist until you succeed. So just to recap, the topic is I will win until I succeed. In order for you to succeed, you must convert every no into a yes. Remember, a no is just a yes in the waiting room. And just realizing failure is a part of winning. So keep going. And the law of averages will bend to your good. And the prizes of life are at the end of the journey, not the beginning. Now it's time for the People's Champ of the Day. Okay? Excellent. There you have it, my friends. So now we're going to switch segments in this program. You know it's that time for the People's Champ. All right. So the quote of the day was inspired by one of our coaching students, Eric. Shout out to Eric. And he's the one who posted that question about it's impossible to move forward with multifamily with using the PG and other things. But this is another testimony he provided as well, okay? Because he did get awarded for business credit. And here it goes. Say hello to my 3 new homeboys. Applied for 6 credit cards, got approved for 3. One at $15,000, another at $3,000, and the last one at $2,000, which equals $20,000 in total. So shout out to you, Eric. So he got the business credit, and he's looking to use it for multifamily investing. So if you're interested in getting funding, we have that available for you, as well as interested in learning how you can use creative financing for real estate investing. Just check the link below to learn more. Shh. Listen up.
Let's get this money.
This podcast episode is sponsored by 100% Finance. If you're interested in getting started in real estate investing without using any of your own money, like using business credit, then go to 100percentfinance.com and apply for the free consultation. We provide free consultation, again, to all those who apply for business credit. There's no upfront fees whatsoever. Even if you don't have a business incorporated yet, or even if you don't know if you qualify based upon your credit and other factors, apply anyway so we can consult you for free. We helped small business owners and real estate investors like yourself obtain over $5.5 million in business funding in 2017. And we want to help you get even more capital this year so that you can escape the 9-to-5 and be financially free and independent. The link is outlined in the description. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes today's podcast episode. I'm very grateful for your listening ears. So continue to listen, like, share, as well as subscribe. Check out our other social media platforms, such as the YouTube channel at 100% Finance, as well as Instagram at 100% Finance, and our website, 100percentfinance.com. The simple fact that you listen to this podcast speaks volumes of who you are as a person. Let me say it this way. You will persist until you succeed. So now you know the game plan. You will run into obstacles. You will run into roadblocks. You will have pitfalls, shortcomings, mistakes, failures, and the like. However, you're not going to let those things stop you from becoming successful. You're not going to let those things stop you from obtaining your goal of becoming a financially free and independent business person, real estate investor, entrepreneur. So I believe in you. Believe in yourself. So as always, guys, this is to your success. Continue to earn passively, live passionately. Peace.